Hello all. There is one of the students asked me a question about extend your knowledge in Access Module 1. And was you may be wondering if we do need any data files for this. Therefore, we don't need any data files, but I am going to give you some hint on how to solve this problem, how to do this assignment. It asks you to run Access. Therefore, I will write run here. Oh, sorry, I would type Access here, and this is the Access, and hopefully it pops up quickly. And let me see if it is minimized here. Okay, here is Access is run. This time is not asking me to create a blank database. It says go to the template called students. Therefore, I double click here. One thing I forgot to mention in my lectures was that the book talks about objects, and you may be wondering what objects are, and therefore think about the tables as objects, queries as objects, forms as objects. These are called objects. The filters, guardians, as you know, these are the tables, and these are the queries, these are forms, and these are reports someone has created, Microsoft has created, has put. I click enable editing here. Therefore, that is what that assignment is all about. Therefore, you don't need any data files. It wants you to open this database, and then it says that we found it from the gallery. That means that students is a database is one of the templates in that gallery. It says number one, access. Number two, in extend your knowledge. Select desktop student template, which we chose it. This is the one. In the template gallery means that we found it, and creating a database with the file name students. Therefore, it wants me to name this one rather than naming it FBI. It wants me to name it students. That's what it wants me to do. And then it says that after you do that, close the welcome dialog box, and then close the student list form. See here, here is written student. If I click here, and I'm sorry, here is student. Here it is student list, and then click on dialog, and then click student list form. Maybe here it is. If we have a form, student list form. Okay, that is a student list form, and it asks us, to welcome and then close. In order to close any of these, I click here and I click here. That closes, and then open the navigation pane, and then we do have this pane here, and it says that change the organization to object type. I do not see organization here. Therefore, if you want to skip that component, that would be fine. And then open guardian table means look at guardian's table. These are the tables, as you all know. It wants you to open guardian's table. Fine, we will open it and see. As you know, this is a story of students coming to the school, and the school has created a database to make sure that all the students' names are in that database, and for emergency they know who the guardians are, and they have put it in that guardian's name. And then after it says that you open in datasheet view. Which is a datasheet view? We know that there is another view here, which if I click here, it is called design view. It doesn't want us to be on design view. It wants us to be on datasheet view, which we are. And it says that in that thing we have a open datasheet view and delete attachment fields. These are called fields. Do you see that? And there is one field on the right side that we have made by mistake. We have to delete it. To delete this one, I right-click here and I click delete. I don't do it now. That you can do it by yourself. And then it wants us also to add another thing in here. I think it wants us to click to type something. I think wants us to add another link here. Maybe if I click here and I click change name and name this one to whatever I want to, and it allows me to categorize what this one. Do you remember one time we said it is yes or no, and therefore go through step by step. Add guardian to the end of the table. Guardian relationship. You know what it wants me to do? It wants me to do. It wants me here. It wants me to change the name of this to something else. And here it is. Here, guardian relationships. I click here, field one, and then I will change it to guardian relationship, for example. You may be wondering why do we want this column? Because suppose parents, it's important that we know who is this person who is. Imagine that the student is missing the school bus and suddenly the guardian comes in. You want to know who the guardian is. Is it the parents? Is it the nanny? Who is this person who is coming? Therefore, you want all the information to be in this table. And therefore, that is what I want you to look at and try your best to see you understand this. And you already know about, tables, queries, forms. I recommend go through this and see if you understand what these are. We didn't talk about macros. However, if you remember before, although the book doesn't talk about macros, if you remember in Microsoft Word, I just explained, I believe, in one of the classes that I said macros are like spies. They look at you. It's a program that looks at what you do and then it repeats it, which means that if you print form, it will print it. If you type something, you click. It's just like copy and paste. That it copying is like you do whatever you do, and then it repeats what you have done. Therefore, you are already familiar with all of these. My recommendation: go through these queries, go through these forms, go through these reports, and try to understand and see. Because sometimes you can utilize this without even creating your own database. Imagine that you are working for a company. And suppose the question is are you going to go and create a new database, or maybe you can find a database, and then here it is asking me field name you are entering is not correct, most likely. Therefore, I had use the abbreviation. I just change it to hello, for example. But you have to use what the book is asking you. Okay, it accepted. I am going to close that. And as you see, access is closed. And also, I put again access here that you see the other databases that we have. These are called templates. We have asset tracking. Imagine I suppose a rich person comes to you and asks you to track his or her assets. The person has stocks, bonds, real estate, gold, or whatever. This one is the contact. Maybe you want to create your contact, and then you can run query. Query was what? Your friends in Virginia. You can run it. Event management. Therefore, you want to have a party or something of 1,000 people or wedding or something. Maybe you can use this template. Task management, nutrition tracking. Therefore, you might want to, to put. I remember that I used to go to the stockyard here when they sell, cattle, and how nice it is. We could use one of these templates and write the information about the cattle, how much the cow weighs, and how much is sold. When you can use all these templates. And home inventory does. Suppose companies have inventories. Walmart has inventories. Therefore, the information can go here. And one thing we didn't explain also, these databases can be connected to the internet. And let me tell you how it is connected. You go and buy your textbook from our bookstore. Let me go here and let me see if I can go to the website, to the bookstore of the college. And here is a you go and fill out a form. For example, when you go to bookstore and you choose your books, and of course all this information is in a database that you are selecting. And then, and this is, as you all know, this is online. And imagine your book. You select your book, you come here, and it is, of course, Western, we have Eastern Community College, we go, and you click accounting, and you click this one, and you click all. Then let's not forget, think about these as fields. Do you see they are columns that someone has created with the option of selecting accounting? And as soon as I click, suppose submit, I buy more books. What happens to this field from here? This database or this Excel sheet or whatever it is goes through the internet, goes to the server of the bookseller. Bookseller also has this, this database on its server. Therefore, from here, do you remember we opened the form, we added a Trump to that form? This is like that. We add it here, and when we click submit, from here, it goes all the way to the database of the bookstore. The only thing difference is that the ones that we are working, they are not connected to ours. When we are doing, I did my example, FBI, it is not connected to the internet. It's just sitting on my computer. But we can connect that. We can connect it and that's why sometimes you do see in Excel something called database connectivity. And if it is connected to if I click external data and therefore, and then you will see some things that these are connected to the internet. And I click suppose new source here. And do you see it says from online services? Maybe from online we can pull things here, and from here we can pull it. Don't the cops, let's say you always know when the cops stop someone in traffic, they use their tag number and put it in their computer. That's a database, and they put it in there. And anything they put in their computer about that person, from the computer of that police officer goes to a database. But they are connected most likely through the internet. But for now, we know that our FBI, the database is not connected through to the internet to anywhere. That means whatever we put stays there. But our bookstore is a different story. It was just I wanted to give you some ideas about how this system